Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk about TikTok tax tips. Try saying that 3 times fast. So you've probably seen these videos either on TikTok or it's the same thing in Instagram and Facebook Reels, where you hear some sort of dramatic tax tip that could save you thousands upon thousands of dollars in taxes that is some secret or something no one's ever told you about. So I want to do a series of videos where we talk about these TikTok tax tips, whether or not there's any truth to them, whether you need to just basically completely ignore them or dive into them and look at them. So the first thing is there typically is usually some truth in here, and we're going to pull that out and show you what the rest of the story is, because a lot of times they leave out a lot of details. And so we're going to go through that. Now, the second disclaimer is that I always say you shouldn't take any advice from anybody on social media, whether it be TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, including this video right here. My hope is to help point you in the right direction. But what I mean by don't take tax advice from anyone on these social media platforms is that in my videos, I often say, this is general advice. I'm talking to a generalized group of people. And even when I walk through some of these things and point out what is true and what isn't true, it's generalized advice, even that I'm giving. And you need to reach out to someone who can give you specific advice, since these are facts and circumstances driven most of the time. Let's jump in. Let's start with what the TikTok tax tipster says. All right. So in this one that we're going to tackle today, the claim is that you can hire your children at a maximum of $12,000 per kid, completely tax-free. Okay. So the point here is that you have a business, maybe a side hustle, and you're able to pay your kids $12,000 for work that they do for your side business, thereby getting the $12,000 of taxable income off of your tax return, putting it on theirs, where they have a $12,000 standard deduction. So it offsets the taxable income. The kids pay no tax on it. It gives you a deduction on your tax return, thereby converting $12,000 of your income to completely tax-free income. And once you do this, that you can open up an IRA in the name of your kids and put that money into a retirement savings account for them, whether that be a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. So that's pretty much the extent of this one. You know, hire your kids. If you have 3 kids, that's $36,000 maximum that you can pay your children per year, completely tax-free. And that sort of seems where it ends. You're kind of left going, how do I do this? It sounds too good to be true. Maybe I just pay my kids through my business and that way I can do it. In fact, one I just saw today said that, hey, you're already going to be using this money for your kids anyway, to buy their food or to provide shelter for them. So you might as well just convert it to wages here. All right. And that's pretty much the extent of what they said. We'll actually call this one 100% true for what they tell you, but they're leaving out a whole lot of detail. All right. So let's jump into more of the facts here. All right. Can you pay your children if you have a business? Absolutely. Now, if you have a Schedule C sole proprietor business, there's actually some benefits here if your kid is under 18, where not only can you pay them those wages, then the wages paid to them are essentially tax-free because they have the standard deduction. And if they're not making more than $12,000 a year, they're not going to pay any income tax on that. The extra benefit of a Schedule C business owner is that you don't have to pay payroll taxes, Social Security and Medicare, for your child working for your self-employment sole proprietor business when you pay them those wages. Now, if you have elected S corporation status and you're hiring your child in your S corporation, even if you're the sole owner, that goes away. You will have to pay payroll taxes on the wages that you pay your children, but you can still get that money into their name, essentially making it tax-free income to you. All right. Now, the second thing here is, okay, a maximum of $12,000. That's the most you can pay your child. Well, that's not true. You can pay your child more than that. The reason why they're saying maximum is that's the amount that you can pay them up to the standard deduction for it to be, completely tax-free. The more critical factor here is you have to pay them a reasonable compensation for what they're doing. So, the video I watched today said, hey, you can hire your baby to do acting. You can hire your 3-year-old to file some files. You can hire your 10-year-old to answer the phone. You can hire your 15-year-old to do some bookkeeping, and you can pay all of them a maximum up to $12,000. Well, okay, your baby who's doing modeling for your business, okay, that can be legitimate. You do a photo shoot with your baby. If it is applicable to your business and you need photos of babies on your website or social media, then sure, you can put that up there. Now, what would reasonable compensation be for one photo shoot or a couple of photo shoots to use photos or video in your social media for your business? All right. It's not going to be $12,000. I don't think. Your baby's not famous. Your baby's not the Olsen twins, for those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. Your baby is some unknown with no experience that you're taking photos of. I don't know, $250 for, a photo shoot, right? You're not getting anywhere near 12,000. For your 5-year-old filing some files, a couple of hours here and there throughout the month, you're not getting anywhere to 12,000. Now you have a teenager who's doing bookkeeping for your business and you look up bookkeeping hourly wages, you might be getting close to that amount. The whole point here is that you can't just pay a kid $12,000 to do nothing or to do some menial task. It has to be reasonable compensation. So if you have a business, you have a child who can do a task that you need, and you pay them what the going rate is for that task, for the amount of work hours that they actually worked. If they work 10 hours a week, you pay them that rate times 10 hours a week. You can't just pay them some random arbitrary number. If you do those things, yes, this is a legitimate tax savings opportunity where your child can earn some money, can start to have earned wages to open up an IRA, or just to start to learn to steward money, start to learn to have job responsibilities and to work in a professional setting. And that gets that money as a business deduction on your business taxes so that it comes out of your taxable income. So you're not paying tax on it, shifts it into the child's name legitimately. Again, if they're actually doing the work and it's a reasonable wage for what they're doing, for the amount of time that they're doing it, puts it on their tax return, standard deduction for a single individual, just north of $12,000 right now, will be completely tax-free to them. Going to call this one pretty much 100% true, but they're embellishing it. They're also not giving you the full details. And I seem to experience and see where a lot of people think that you can basically just do this to the maximum amount, whether the child actually deserves to be paid that much or not. Just think, would I pay someone else what I'm paying my kid to do this job? If not, you run a high chance of that getting thrown out at audit when the IRS comes and looks at it. And they know about these things too. I mean, this is one that's pretty significantly abused and easily abused. And so you don't want to get caught doing this in the wrong way. Make sure you do it correctly. Reach out to a tax professional. My name is Brad. I'm with Wooten CPA. My goal is to bring peace to your tax and accounting responsibilities. One of the ways I do that is through these videos here on YouTube. Please share this video because people are seeing this TikTok advice and they need to know if it's accurate or not, and they need to have the full picture when they're thinking through these things. So share this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel so you see all of my other videos and takes on these TikTok tips. And thanks for watching.